Tell me, when you write music, because you're also, and I'm not being rude, you're also a very sellable commodity. I mean, your music sells.
See, that happens after a long time. When you start doing something, it really doesn't matter. And you really don't think about whether it's going to sell or it won't sell. Because you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it yourself because you like writing songs. You want to showcase what you think through your songs. So that's how it starts. This business and the other things, they come much later to your life. And that makes things so complicated.
Complicated? Why do you say it makes it complicated? Because it's someone has to handle your business.
Finances?
Yeah. Who handles your wife?
No. I handle it myself. And what happened when I was in college, when I was working, I had the luxury of writing on whatever subject I felt like. Now these days, since I'm into this business of making songs, sometimes I'm under pressure that I have a timeline, I have a deadline to meet, and I have to compose something in 7 days. While actually, I'm not in the mood for it. I can give you an example. I was working in a very dark Bengali film, action-oriented Bengali film, and they needed some dark kind of music in December 2015, and that was a time when I just got married, and I was really not in the mood for it. And it was a very difficult phase. I was so happy that I didn't feel like writing songs.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you say that.
It's just 1 month after marriage,
please.
So
no, it's interesting that you say that, Anupam. Just carry on with that thought. So, for singer-songwriters like you, or even when Dylan wrote his great music when he was tough times, he was going through a divorce and all kinds of pain in his life. And all of us go through some pain at some time. Do you think when you were having the painful moments in your personal life, do you think that helped you to write better music? Or is it easier for you to write better music when you are in your happy mode 1 month after your wedding?
I think it's most difficult to write your best music when you're in the happy mode. Because that's the time when you really enjoy and you're really not thinking too much about life or not thinking too much about the situation. The crisis in one's life, I feel, is the best moment when you can test the person, what he's actually, whether he's breaking down, whether he's surviving, how is he facing the situation. So personally, in my case, crisis has always been a very important part of my songwriting. Now, to put things in a different light, sometimes when I'm really happy, these days I am, I put myself in crisis situations. That suppose something was wrong. Suppose this was not going the way I wanted. So what would happen? And maybe I can come up with a song.
Good. I hope your wife is watching this on India Today. Okay. Anupam, lots of people who are not from Calcutta, who are not from Bengal, and they don't know perhaps about the width of your work or the importance of your work. It goes back to the Hindi song you did. Okay. So we've had a conversation. We've got about half an hour to go. But if we've chatted for 13, 14 minutes, I'm sure it would be more appropriate for Derek O'Brien not to ask questions and Anupam Roy to answer questions. Maybe it's a good idea, if everyone agrees, can we have the guitar out and can we have, Anupam on the guitar? Okay.
So, can I get my guitar?
Just in case you thought that was spontaneous, it wasn't. We had the guitar backstage. Okay? But we try and make it look like the 9 o'clock prime time, which also looks spontaneous. But it's not so spontaneous. A lot of it is premeditated. Rahul, Rajdeep, Padmaja Khan, I'm in charge today. Okay. Now, I know all of you know that Anupam has done music for Piku and loads of Bengali hits, but I'm going to ask him to play a song which you haven't heard before, and if you are kind of my vintage, you'd perhaps enjoy this. Now, I don't want to be like Boria and set up that beautiful Olympic ceremony which you did, beautiful, but आगे से script बोल दिया तो मैं नहीं करूँगा वो. So this is a song you haven't heard before. It's only got a couple of hundred YouTube views. But can you imagine this guy even trying to do this, being a Bengali rock star. Enjoy.
So this song is about a girl I met in a bookstore. This actually happened. I was going through a bookstore and I met someone. I never talked to that person. She left before I could realize. And I wrote a song about her. Girl in a bookstore, what's she reading? Can't be so sure. Checking up my playlist. Will she like it if I play her some bright songs? Girl in a bookstore, what's she reading? Can't be so sure. Checking up my playlist. Will she like it if I play her some bright songs? Maybe I'm wrong. She might be loving all the sad songs. The way that she smiles. Maybe I'll sing a broken heart song. Did I speak too soon? Even if she doesn't care, I'm gonna sing the song anyway. Even if she doesn't bother, I'm gonna write this song anyway. How can I forget her? How can I forget her? Get her? Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Girl in a bookstore, will she like it if I play her some bright songs? And then she left.
Whoa! Yeah. You know,